What is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel. I am Lonnie from Flight Sim Gaming. Today we are doing a real-world flight flown by Peach Airlines. This is, I believe, a low-cost carrier out here in Japan. This is our, I guess you could call it day 2 of our Japan tour. It is the sort of last day that we're doing it here. We were doing 6 flights. Sorry, we're doing 6 airports. I'm not sure how many legs that is. But anyway, we're here in Fukuoka. I think I'm saying that correctly. Fukuoka? Anyway, I'm not good with names. And we're flying to Osaka. It is a real-world flight flown by Peach Airlines. Today we are in the fly-by-wire A320. And the reason why I chose this aircraft is strictly because Peach Airlines has purchased, I believe, 25 or 30 of these Neo jets. They're going to replace the A320 CEOs or the A320-200s. So I've done some test flights already in this airplane. The fly-by-wire experimental version has the VNAV, which is what I have chosen for this flight, and it flies pretty good. Can't even complain. A couple things I had to do was I had to calibrate throttles, and I had to integrate SimBrief, but all is well. For people wondering, the scenery here at Fukuoka, this is the Sam Scene Fukuoka. It's not the greatest scenery, I'm just going to be completely honest with you. The airports, you know, the 3D modeling of the actual terminal doesn't look too bad, but the windows don't look great, and you know, some stuff on top of the terminals and buildings here are just like photos. Right, like if I zoom in to here, it's not a 3D model of any balconies or windows, just the building structure itself. In my personal humble opinion, this is one of the worst sceneries by Sam Scene by far. Now, I believe they added this airport, and I believe it's the city that they had done, and I don't even know exactly where to look. I think down here. I don't know if these buildings are modeled by Sam Scene, but overall the airport is not worth the 19 euros. Now, the Osaka scenery that we're going to is done by Techno Brian. I believe it's also 19 euros for that airport, and it's a really well done airport. But Sam Scene, I mean, I don't know if they're known for their airports. I know they're known for scenery, cities, and stuff like that. This is a thumbs down in my humble opinion. I think there is another option for Fukuoka, but I picked Sam Scene because I do have every single add-on that they have for this simulator with the city stuff, and it looks fantastic. So anyway, we're here. I bought this, so you guys shouldn't, you know, reviewing it here on my channel. But anyway, we're boarding the passengers now, 40 out of 174. I hope that is accurate with SimBrief. Let me take a quick look here. Stand by. 174 passengers, yes, okay, so SimBrief is loading correctly. For those wondering about the ATR, we are going to be doing some flights with it. I have been practicing some flights, and I'm pretty comfortable with the aircraft. There's a lot of bugs with it. You know, apparently there's a big update coming out, don't know when, but we will be flying it in Canada. Keep that in mind, in Canada. So yes, I'm sorry I'm putting out videos a little bit too late, but we try to strive for 2 videos a week, but lately it's just not been happening. Anyway, let's jump inside the cockpit. Let's get things rocking and rolling. Aircraft is off, so we're going to go ahead. External power on, battery 1 and 2. APU master switch will come on, and then we're going to start it after 3 seconds. Nav and logo lights, strobe lights on, crew supply oxygen, adheres to the nav position. Emergency exits, no smoking, and seatbelt lights are on. Okay. As I was saying, fly-by-wire. I don't know if they did an update from the last time I've flown it, but I'm pretty impressed with how it flies. Pretty impressed. I don't like the taxiing. I don't like that. The taxiing sucks. But this aircraft flies very nice in the air. Get rid of some of that stuff there. We'll turn on some lights because the aircraft doesn't turn on any lights. We'll turn on the EFB or the fly pad, whatever you want to call it. First things first, I always check our nav data. As you can see, nav data is accurate. Always double check that. Very similar. If you haven't flown this aircraft, it's very similar to the Phoenix. We're going to go init request on the McDo page, and it's going to populate our route in there. Come over to the init page, we'll init request. It should populate flight number, company route, all that stuff, cost index. Cruise level is going to be 31,000 feet for today's flight. It's a short flight, ladies and gents. It's only about an hour or so. We're going to go align, and then we'll come over here and we'll import our SimBrief data. As you can see, it's imported the SimBrief data. If you're having issues importing this, you do have some things that you must do. You have to put in your SimBrief user ID here. And then there's also like a QR code that you can take with your phone, and you can log in through that. Anyway, we're here. Let's come over to the fuel page here. We're going to fill block fuel from SimBrief. It's showing 4,400 kilos. Let's just verify that's okay. 4,400 is what SimBrief integrated. And it's instant. That's great. Our payload, we're going to do the same. We're going to click this. Fill payload from SimBrief. The one problem I'm having is the zero fuel weight is not matching. Passengers and cargo matches. Actually, cargo is off by 200 kilograms, but our zero fuel weight should show the extra 200 kilograms, which is weird. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and begin the boarding. Boarding is completed, and we'll leave that like that. We'll come back over down to the McDo here. We can plug that in. 60.4, 33.1 should be similar to what we have here. So we have 60.4, 30.1, sorry, 33.1. It looks like it's in between these. We'll leave that there. We'll click on that. Block fuel 4.4.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, on behalf of myself, your captain,
and that looks all good. We are going to be departing from runway 16 today. SimBrief gave us a departure. It's the Yoke 5 departure, salty transition. So we're going to look for the Yoke 5 departure with the salty transition, and we'll insert that into our flight plan there. I'll have a look at that momentarily. We'll go ahead and clear some discons. And the arrival, we are expecting the ILS 06 left. We'll do the Yankee. And it's the berth B arrival. No transition. We'll plug that in there. Make sure we got no discons. We always get discons. Not sure what happened here. Looks like it imported the flight plan. Did it import the flight plan twice, or am I seeing shit? Oh, sorry, ladies and gents. No, it did. It did not import the flight plan twice. I'm just seeing shit. That's why you always got to come up here when this comes on and just verify. Okay. Come over to the performance tab. Transalt is 14,000 in Japan. We're going to do a flaps 1, and then it's going to be a down 0.3 on the trim wheel there. Flex the temp. We'll just put some bullshit in there. Make it 60 degrees. Perfect. And then V1s, just click on V2. Oops. V1. V-rotate. V2. And that all looks good. Very similar to the Phoenix. Fly-by-wire is a freeware aircraft. This was the cat's ass, as I like to say, in the earlier stages of Microsoft Flight Simulator. I've flown this plane exclusively way back. There's obviously better options now, but listen, it's a freeware aircraft, can't go wrong. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the weather. I don't know if you guys can see this here. I wonder if I can, hold on, give me one sec. Make that a little bit bigger for you guys. We'll go ahead and we'll lock that. I've already imported the SimBrief stuff into the Navigraph charts. What we're going to do is we're going to come over to Fukuoka. We're going to look at our weather information. The winds are 140 at 3, temperature 12, dew point 9, altimeter 1014. Plug that in there. Awesome. 1014. What we'll do is we're going to come back up here. We're going to look at our departure chart. So we are on the Yoke 5 RNAV departure. It's a very straightforward departure. By the way, if people wondering what gate we're at gate 1 here in Fukuoka. This is where the rear world flight flown out of. But anyway, let's look at our initial climb clearance. Climb on heading 158 at or above 500, direct Umaka or Umaka at or below 20,000. So we cannot exceed 20,000. There's going to be a constraint for that. Okay, very straightforward. And then we're going to go out on the salty transition. We'll come up here. We'll just verify transout is 14,000, as you can see there. That looks great. We'll come over here to the Osaka page. Actually, what? The Yoke 5 is there. It's the berth RNAV. One thing it sometimes does not add is the approach. So we're doing the ILS Yankee 06 left. I'm going to go ahead and pin that. And we have our ILS is 108.7. Come over to the RadNav 108.7. I like to plug it in a little bit earlier. Anyway, let's come over to the flight plan page. We'll select this over to the plan page and we're just going to go through it. Make sure there's our departure. Salty transition. We're going to hit Randy. Berth. And then it's a standard arrival into Osaka. Very straightforward. Awesome. Looks like we're all boarded. I'm going to go ahead and we'll turn our fuel pumps on. APU can come on. I'm going to put the beacon light on just because we're going to be pushing back momentarily. I will come back. I don't know what page I need to be on here. Is it this page? Services. Close the forward door. Ground power will disconnect. And we're going to request pushback. Very nice looking livery. I love it. I believe you can get 2 different liveries for the fly-by-wire. I think there's a glossy version and a dirty version. I could be mistaken. This is the new paint looking livery. We are going to be doing a second leg today. We are going to be flying with Peach Airlines on a second leg from Osaka to Narita. So we're heading back to Tokyo, another real-world flight. That sort of was the plan out here in Japan. Okay, we gotta go. Let's have a look at where we are parked here. So we are going to be departing this runway here. So we're going to go nose right, tail left. The start switch to the start position. Engine 2 will be starting. So I don't have any wing view set. I decided to, so I have 2 different SSDs. I got a 2 terabyte SSD and a 1 terabyte. Flight Simulator was installed on the 1 terabyte SSD, so I had to actually transfer everything over. They're both the same SSDs. I got the Samsung 970 EVO Plus, but I'm running out of space. You know, this game with all my add-ons and all that kind of shit aircraft, I have almost 1 terabyte worth of data stored. So I switched over SSDs. I transferred everything over. Unfortunately, I had to do a fresh install of the simulator. So I lost all my wing views. So we'll get back to that at a later date. Not too sure why I see some British Airways. I think these are A320neos. I don't know if that's static aircraft or not. But yeah, no wing views. We'll get them going probably when we do our ATR flight.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start.
Waiting for the engine to start. GSX puts this aircraft down very nicely compared to the Phoenix, and the PMBG just kind of slams your ass down. Sounds like both engines are good. Come upstairs.
Please prepare for takeoff.
APU comes off. Taxi lights comes on. We're going to go ahead, auto brake max. Flaps over to the flaps 1 position. We're going to arm the ground spoilers. We'll wait for these people to leave. Have a look at our taxi charts here. As you can see, we are off the taxi map here. I don't know if this is just an issue with Navigraph, but we are at gate 1. We're going to taxi, I guess, Kilo 1 over to Kilo 2. And then we're going to go Echo 1. We're going to hold short of the runway. And then take off on this departing runway. That's really about it. Very simple. Have a good trip. Okay, we gotta do some calls here. This is required. So we have takeoff config is normal, no blues. Auto brake set to max. Flaps 1 set. Ground spoilers armed. We have our altitude set. QNH set. Parking brakes coming off. Taxi lights are on. And away we go. So if I recall, this aircraft used to roll on its own, kind of like how the ATR is doing right now. I don't think it's doing it right now. I'm not sure if there was an update for that. But this aircraft overall just feels a lot different than what I remember. I just don't like how it sort of taxis. I don't like the rudder input. It's different. It's slower. It feels heavier. So we're doing a subscriber check here. I had mentioned earlier in a couple videos that we need to get up to 250, and we're going to be doing a €50 Sim Market gift voucher giveaway. And I'm very proud to say the channel's doing very well. We are at currently 165 subs on the channel. So things are moving in a positive direction. I love it. Thank you to everybody who has shown continuous support of the channel. I don't even think I could taxi onto here. As you can see, I got some runway lights here. But it's kind of weird. Whatever. Shit happens. But yeah, so we need to get up to 250. And then we're doing that giveaway of that €50 Sim Market gift voucher. That'll be exciting. Anyway, let's line up on this runway here. We'll hold it right here. We're not perfectly straight. But we're going to go ahead, throttles up to 50%. Stabilized. And then flex set. The winds should be relatively calm. It's not too crazy. 80 knots. Check. V1. And rotate. Kind of a long takeoff roll there. Sorry, a long rotating roll there. Positive rate of climb. Gear is going up. It just feels so much better. We might have to fly this more often. So, we do have a altitude restraint. We have to be at or below 20,000 feet by a certain waypoint, so we're just going to hand fly this bird for a little bit. We'll see how she goes. We'll just zoom out of there. And yeah. 1,500 feet. Throttles over to the climb detent, and we're going to pitch down at about 10 degrees. We'll let the aircraft speed up. That's Fukuoka. I apologize if I am completely wrong on some pronunciations with certain airports and waypoints and things like that. Flaps up. Ground spoilers are stowed, disarmed, whatever you want to call it. Very bumpy. Runway turnoffs, nose lights can come off. And we're going to hold at about 250 knots. We'll pitch it up. It'll hold the speed. Very bumpy. That's not me, I promise. The experimental version is what we're currently using. It does have VNAV capabilities. Now, I did a practice flight, and I noticed VNAV kind of just goes all over the place. It's not stable at all. That's why it is in the experimental version and not in the developmental version or stable release. I noticed at times the aircraft, will all of a sudden be completely either too high or too low on the VNAV profile. But eventually it does stabilize itself. But definitely need to have VNAV because, sometimes to do those number calculations to figure out top of descent can be a little nerve-wracking. I noticed the ATR has a lot of bugs. One of them that I noticed was top of descent. The marker doesn't always show. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's flashing. It makes it very difficult to fly that aircraft. On top of the other 100 bugs. We're still hand flying this aircraft. We're up at about 10,000 feet now, so what I'm actually going to do is autopilot can come on. I love that sound of how the autopilot kicked on. That was pretty fantastic. Hey, the starter switch, ladies and gents, don't look at that. Disregard. Ignition. It showed ignition. I don't know why it showed takeoff config OK if the ignition was still lit up. Anyway, 10,000 feet. Landing lights can come off. Climbing up to 31,000. Let's have a look out here. That's beautiful Fukuoka and the surrounding areas. They did Japan very well in this simulator, I must say. The terrain textures look great. At 10,000 feet, as you can see, X-Plane or PFD does not compare to this level of quality. I don't care what you guys want to say. Does not compare. Should be starting our left-hand turn. Come down here. I like to go to the perf page just to look at top of descent, top of climb. So there's our top of descent information right there. So at about 130 miles, we'll be at top of descent. Make that beautiful left-hand turn. You guys are enjoying the Japan sceneries and the Japan flying? Go ahead and give both videos a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We need to get up to 250 knots. Sorry, 250 subs in order to be doing out that giveaway. So let's get that going. Most of you are not subbed to the channel, but are viewers that tend to come back and watch my videos. So go ahead and do that if you have not. And what I'm going to do is, we're at 15,000 feet. I'm going to monitor this flight as usual. We'll do some beautiful cinematic views up top at 31,000 feet. I'm not sure how long we're going to be cruising up there, but we'll see what we can get. And I'll catch y'all on the descent. Fly safe, everybody. Peace! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are currently on the descent into Osaka. What I'm going to do here is I'm quickly going to pull up our Navigraph information here so y'all can have a look and see. We are approaching a berth right now. This is the arrival for the ILS 06 left. That's the approach that we have chosen for this arrival. As you can see, Transalt is 14,000. Okay, we are approaching berth here on a heading of 098. As you can see, berth is the next waypoint. It's right here. We're going to hit Nalto. We need to be at or above 6,000 feet once we hit this waypoint. And then when we hit Barry, we need to be at or above 4,000 feet. I believe that's where we're actually going to hit the ILS. If we come back over here and we look at the ILS 06 left Yankee, we're going to hit Barry at 4,000, and at Jenny we're actually going to capture the glide slope into Osaka. Now we have our decision altitude height of 215 for the ILS. We have that set in there. Sorry about that one. We'll get rid of this, and we have the actual McDo is already set up here. We're going to come have a look at our approach page here. QNH is 1012, temperatures plus 15. We're going to go ahead and we're going to change our barometric pressure there. So we have QNH of 1012 set, temperature 15. The winds are 080 at 7, relatively calm. That's why also too, the winds being at 080, that's why we got the runway 6 arrivals. Transalt is 14,000, baro set for 215. All looks well in there. We are approaching 13,000 feet. Currently, it's been a great flight as we hit the Osaka airport. I believe it's the Kansai International. I know there's a couple different ones, but the one that we have chosen, the scenery that we have chosen for Osaka is the Techno Brian scenery. You can get that at Sim Market, and I believe it's about €19. I picked it up on sale. I think it was 15 or 20% off. So, but you know, it's well worth the €19, no questions asked. It's a very nice looking airport. Performance was great. We'll see how it lands. I've flown into it once on a practice flight, but we'll see how it lands. We are doing a second leg. We're going to hit up Narita in Tokyo. That scenery is done by Derziki Design. There'll be another real-world flight flown by Peach Airlines. Looking forward to that. Another short flight. I think it's just over an hour, maybe an hour and a half, so should be fun. Anyway, I was talking about the VNAV here. You can see here, there's this arrow here. That's going to be where, I guess, we'll start descending again at Barry. or we'll stop descending. I can't see the arrow properly. But anyway, VNAV looks like it's holding properly. We have our green dot there. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down, but ultimately, as you can see, like the feet per minute is going to change. It's not constantly stable, which is slightly disappointing, you know. But I mean, it is what it is. We'll see if the aircraft slows down to 250. It should. But yeah, the VNAV is not, it's not, you know, completely out of whack. Something that I would highly recommend for the fly-by-wire A320. VNAV is always great to have in any aircraft. Nevertheless, it just makes things a lot easier and simpler when you're trying to find top of descent and things like that. So you can only get it in the experimental version. Can't get it on the developmental version or the stable version, as far as I know. But it's good to have. It's actually behaved quite well on this flight. My practice flight, some moments I was above or below the VNAV profile, which is a little disappointing. The aircraft would stop descending and then start rapidly descending, which would be pretty tricky. Auto brake, I'm going to select low. It is a long runway. I'm going to open up Navigraph once again. I'm going to show you which gate we are going to be going to. So we are going to be landing on this runway here. I'm hoping to exit, I guess, either Bravo 8 or Bravo 6. We'll see. I have a feeling we're going to hit Bravo 8 just because this aircraft likes to slow down very fast. But anyway, we're going to the Terminal 2. Gate 97 is what we're expecting. I don't know what GSX is going to show for that, but that's where the real world aircraft last deboarded from. So it'll be a very short taxi here, depending on where we get off, whether it's Bravo 8 or Bravo 6. It's a very short taxi, as you can see, compared to the other runway. But anyway, that is the plan. We'll have a look at some outside views here. Don't know what airport this is here. That might be another Osaka airport, I'm not sure. But photogrammetry looks absolutely phenomenal. I think the airport's up here somewhere, maybe up here. Maybe let's hop back inside. We are at about 8,600 feet. Aircraft is slowing down. There are no speed restraints. We're still about 40 miles out, so we don't need to put out any flaps as of yet. We're going to hold the speed of 240 when it decides to get there. And then at about 15 miles or so, we'll go ahead and select flaps 1. It is going to be a flaps 4 landing. As usual, I don't know how often the aircraft lands on a flaps 3 landing. I'm not that too in depth with how the aircraft flies, but yeah, all is looking well. Highly recommend giving this aircraft a go again. They've done some major tweaks and updates since I've flown it last. I think the last time I've flown it was the Player Airlines video I put out way back 3 or 4 months ago. I've noticed a lot of changes. I noticed the aircraft doesn't take off as fast. The taxiing is somewhat better. I don't like it, but it's free. Can't go wrong. You know, we're waiting for the A380 to come out. I don't know when that's coming out. They've teased a couple, you know, previews here and there, but I'm excited for what's in store for Microsoft Flight Simulator this year. Hopefully sooner than later we'll get that 777, as well as the A330. I know that they are beta testing the A330 right now, and we'll see what we get with that. You know, the ATR, in my humble opinion, it's a great aircraft to fly. I'm having fun with it because it's something that's different. But they did say it's an expert level ATR. Now, I don't know what that means when it comes to the flight simming community. What is expert level? What is study level? I would imagine expert level is something that utilizes almost every system in the aircraft. Study level would be something where, I guess, all the systems would work properly. For example, in the ATR, I'm having issues climbing with managed speed. It likes to sit at the 170. I can't get it up to 240. And then the tops, you know, some things flicker in the aircraft. People are complaining about the paneling being a little too blue. It's supposed to be more gray. I don't know what it's supposed to be. But, yeah, we'll see what we get with the A330 and the A380. I hope it's a mix between expert level and study level. You know, I like the aircraft to fly nice. I like it to feel heavy. I also want the systems to work. Right. I also don't want to have issues when climbing. I don't want to have issues. You know, if it's VNAV equipped, I don't want to have issues finding top of descent, things like that. So we'll see. I was going to purchase the Flight Sim Studios Embraer E-Jet. Now, I know they've been doing updates every 2 weeks on that aircraft. I have not flown it, and people are saying it flies much better than it did. I think I'm going to wait for the 195s and the 190s to come out. Just because, you know, when it comes to real world flying, you know, I typically fly in North America and Canada, and I believe Air Canada has, no, they don't have the E-Jets. I think they got the A220s. I guess Porter would kind of be the only aircraft I would be flying if I'm doing any type of Canadian flights. But it is a bigger aircraft. It is a longer range aircraft. That's why I would, you know, once they fix all the kinks, nooks, and crannies with that aircraft, I'll probably purchase it then. Approach phase is coming on. We'll get down to 210. Gonna go ahead and arm ground spoilers. Do I need to go flaps yet? Nah, 20 miles out. We'll wait. Jenny, we gotta be at 4,000. That's where we're gonna cap the ILS. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and ILS is not capping. I don't know why. 108.7. Let me have a look here. Decimal 7. There we go. Don't know what happened there. Hopefully she captures. We're gonna go ahead. Flaps 1. Don't see the localizer coming up. Sorry, localizer is there. I don't see the glide slope coming up. 108.7, still about 15 miles out. Still about 15 miles out. We're gonna hold here. There goes the magenta glide path slope diamond. What we're going to do is we're going to have a look at our missed approach here. Missed approach, climb to 500 on heading 059, turn left heading 241 to intercept and proceed outbound via the Kobe VOR to Lilac and hold at 3,000. This aircraft doesn't put in any missed approach stuff there. That's fine. We'll just have to sort of follow some charts. So we're going to go runway heading to 500, and we're going to make a left to the Kobe VOR, and then we're going to go to Lilac. Glide slope captured, locus captured. We are 10 miles, 11 miles out. Turn the rest of our lights on here. Still got some time to slow down. Gonna go ahead. Flaps 2 coming out. aircraft takes a long time to slow down. Once I drop the gear, all that drag will slow the aircraft right down. So about 7 miles out. I like to be fully configured by 5 miles, so we won't put up the gear just yet. Aircraft slowing down now.
2000.
I'm gonna go ahead, drop the gear.
Flight attendants, please prepare for landing.
We'll go ahead, flaps full. Okay, we got gear down, 3 green. Flaps are full. Ground spoilers are armed. We're going to go ahead and advise the cabin. Don't know which one I need to press. Anyway, we did. Cabin's advised. We'll go ahead and set missed approach altitude 3,000 feet. Ground auto brake is set to low. Let's see what happens. Hopefully we get a nice landing. Aircraft does pitch differently than the Phoenix A320, so I'm not a master or a butter master by all means. But we'll see what happens. Winds are relatively calm. They're not kicking my ass, which is great. A little bit of a crosswind. I'm going to go ahead and take control of the aircraft. My aircraft. Two whites, 2 reds showing there on the pappies. We're looking good. Glide slope is looking good. We are stable for now.
$500.
Check.
$400. $300. 100 above.
Picked up some more crosswind there.
200. Minimum.
Continue.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. Retard. 10. 5.
We're down. Nose down gently. Felt like we smashed it down there. Go ahead and give myself a minus 400 on that one. Reverses are out. Aircraft's coming to a stop. And 60 knots. Reversers are stowed. I'll have to look at that replay. That felt firm. Ladies and gents, welcome down to Osaka. We are here safely. And we are at Bravo 8, I think. And we'll come to a brief stop here. Okay, we are going to stay on this taxiway here. We're going to hit, I think, Juliet 3. I'm going to go ahead and request GSX. Let's check gate 41. We might have the wrong gate here. And gate 97. Japan Airlines. Should be over here somewhere. Taxi lights are coming on. Runway turnoffs coming off. We're going to go ahead and start up the APU. And I hope I'm coming into the right gate. Gate 97. Should be over here. Let me have a look at this spot. That's the one. Fantastic. So this is Terminal 2. This is where the real-world aircraft deboarded from, and we're looking for Gate 97, or this might be Stand 97. I don't think these are gates. Here's Gate 97. Start that turn. And we do have a tug sort of in our way. So we'll see how this goes. Go ahead and we'll park it there. APU bleed is on. We'll go ahead. Engine 1, engine 2 is shutting down. And we're going to request
the boarding requested.
Deboarding. Something like that. I'll take it. Once again, welcome down to Osaka, the Kansai International. This is done by Tech O'Brien. Very nice looking airport. Performance is fantastic. And we are here at Terminal 2. Curious to see how the other terminal looks. I haven't been to that terminal because this is where I flew into last time. But we're here. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and set up for leg number 2. We are flying this bird down to
Passenger's bus is coming.
Tokyo Narita. It will be another real-world flight. We're going to do it in the Neo. We're going to stay in this bird. I'm going to go ahead and look at that replay, that smash landing. Maybe we'll get maintenance out here. Get them to look at our aircraft here for any broken, damaged parts. Anyway. Stay tuned, everybody. Catch y'all shortly. Be safe. What is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the second leg of the video. For those joining, I am Lonnie from Flight Sim Gaming. We are going to be flying to Narita in Tokyo. This is a real-world flight flown by Peach Airlines in the A320. And like I had mentioned in the first video, the reason why I decided to fly the fly-by-wire is because Peach Airlines has purchased, I believe, 25 or 30 A320 Neos. So I thought I'd try to keep it as realistic as possible. They do have a couple in service, mainly the A320-200s are in service, but the Neos will be replacing those aircraft. So we're here. It's the last leg of the Japanese, I guess you can call it, tour, the Japan tour. And then the video after this will be should be an ATR flight flown in North America. So just want to thank you all for you know, flying with me, and let's get this aircraft ready to rock and roll, shall we? Aircraft is still running. We're not on the APU, we are on the GPU currently at the moment, but let's see if we can turn around this aircraft. I haven't done it yet.
Passengers bus is coming.
Come over to the AOC menu here. We'll init press. Populates. Okay, we have Osaka and we have Narita. Perfect. We'll go ahead and init request here on the init page. It should put, there we go, there's our new flight number. Cost index is set, and we're cruising up to 39,000 feet. This flight is slightly longer. I think it's about an hour and a half flight time. The last flight was about an hour.
Passengers boarding starting.
So anyway, let's get our fuel and weight logged in here. We're gonna go ahead and fill block fuel from SimBrief. We are told it's 6,000 kilograms of fuel, which it is. We'll go ahead and load that up instantly. As you can see, the wings are full. Come over to the payload section here. We're going to fill payload information from SimBrief. Once again, our zero fuel weight is off by 2,000 pounds, and our cargo is off by about 2,000 kilos, and our cargo is off by about 100 kilos. But anyway, we'll go ahead and we'll plug that in there. Looks like our route here, we're expecting to depart from 06 right on the Tomo 3 departure with the Kilo Echo Charlie transition. Let's go ahead and just fill this in there. Block fuel is going to be 6.0. Awesome. Come over to the flight plan page here. We are going to be departing from 06 right on the Tomo 3 departure, the Kilo Echo Charlie transition. We'll go ahead and plug that in there. We'll have a look at the waypoints momentarily. We'll just go ahead and kill some discontinuities. And we will set our arrival. We are expecting the ILS 34 left. ILS 34 left. Plug that in there. On the Ruta Sierra Tango, I believe. The Ruta Sierra Tango, yes. Arrival. And Novia. No trans anymore. All looks well. We always have discons. It's always radar vectors. And that looks fantastic. Come over to the performance page here. Transalt's 14,000. It's going to be a flaps 1 down 0.3 on the trim. We'll do a flex of 60. I don't know how to calculate that, but it is what it is. These speeds are relatively low compared to the Phoenix. Anyway, we are there. Initial climb altitude is going to be, we'll set it for 39,000 feet. And I'm going to unload the flight from our previous flight. We're going to re-import the new flight. And let's have a look at our departure. So, first things first, we're going to set the QNH. It's going to be 1012. That's already set. We'll leave that plugged in there. Winds haven't changed. 070 at 8 knots. Altimeter 1012. Come over to our departure page here. It's the Tomo 3 departure. With the Kilo Echo Charlie transition, which is down there. So, departing from 06 right, climb on heading 054. We're going to make a left turn towards, I guess, the Kilo Charlie Echo VOR. And then we're going to make a left turn again on a 215 radial out to Tomo. And then we're going to go, looks like it's going to be on a radial again of 215, 41 miles out from the Kobe VOR, and then we're going to make a left turn.
Passenger's bus is coming.
To Kushimoto. And that's how that departure looks. Pretty straightforward. It's going to be a runway heading, and then we're going to go ahead 054. When do we intercept? So it's going to be climb on heading 054, turn left. Yeah, okay, perfect. Pardon if I mumble there. We'll have a look at our plan here.
Passengers boarding starting.
That's our plan. Feels like it's going to be the long way to Tokyo, but we don't do real world routes. I should maybe look into doing that. And our departure into Tokyo. Fantastic, fantastic. Waiting for our passengers to board. APU can come in, can come on. I'll get rid of the ground power supply. And just like that, it's gone. That's what I like. Don't forget, if you have not yet, ladies and gents, smash down that thumbs up button. Just try to get 15 likes on this video. We are racing up to 250 subs on the channel. As I always state, we will be giving away a €50 Sim Market gift voucher once we hit that 250 sub total. It'll be a big milestone on the channel. Looks like we're going to be getting another passenger bus. And we're almost loaded. Not quite. Ah, boarding is actually complete. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and close the door, which it looks like it's already closed. Fuel pumps are coming on. Beacon light is coming on. No smoking signs are turned on. And we're going to go ahead and request pushback. So it's going to be quite the long taxi here. As you can see, we are at stand 97. We're going to be pushed back. We're going to push back nose right, tail left, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to make a right onto, I don't know what taxiway this is, and then we're going to go ahead to Juliet 4, hang a left, and we'll take Juliet 4 down to Lima, and then we're going to go Lima over to Alpha 13, and we'll hold short on Alpha 13 for 06 right. That's what we're gonna do. Sounds like a plan. I had a look at that landing, and you know, the sound effects and the cockpit shake doesn't do it justice. I think I topped out at about 200 feet per minute. I don't think it was harder than that, just because I was looking at our feet per minute here, and it showed 2 on there, so a little bit firm. You know, I don't have many practice landings in this aircraft, but hopefully we can get a good one down in Tokyo. I decided to depart from 06 right, kind of trail along the airport here and see what it has to offer. For those wondering if it's a good scenery to buy, you know, performance is always great. Here we're getting about 40 FPS, which isn't terrible. I don't know what the aircraft is doing. Okay, he wants to straighten us out here. Engine number 1 is going to start. And it'll put us beautifully onto the taxiway here. Awesome. Two good engines come up top. APU bleed, APU master coming off. Nose lights over to the taxi position. We'll go ahead and make sure the ignition is turned off. Auto brake set to max. We're gonna go ahead. Flaps 1, arm the ground spoilers.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Sorry about the Navigraph thing being up there. Clear that. So I set the trim last time in the MiG-2, but I don't think I actually set it here. Somewhere about there should be good. Left is clear, right is clear. We'll go ahead. Notify the cabin and crew. Takeoff config is normal. I'd like to see that. Altimeter, sorry, QNH is 1012, 1012, and 1012 set there. Perfect. Can't see him, he's right over here. Perfect, have a good trip. Parking brake released. Let's go ahead, ladies and gents. Once again, we are going to be taxiing Tango, we're going to hang a right up here. And then we're going to make a left onto Juliet 4. And that'll take us right down to Lima. And then from Lima, we'll hold short. This aircraft likes to speed up while taxiing. Let's go ahead and get the brakes out. As you can see, this airport is very detailed. Very detailed. Beautifully done. Aircraft is picking up a lot of speed. I don't know if this taxiway is sloped or not, but aircraft should not be speeding up like that. Cutting through some more parking stands over here. I don't know what parks here. I don't know if this is general aviation or not. Looking for Lima, where we're going to go ahead and take a right. So there's Papa. Probably the next one. Or is it Papa that I'm supposed to go on to? So, here's Lima. Sorry, we're on Papa. We actually kind of screwed up there. Lima is here. This is Papa. It's okay. We'll take Papa to... we'll hang a left onto Alpha 13. Alpha 12 here. Alpha 13 should be the next one. This aircraft just loves taxiing at 20 plus knots. Turn off lights coming on. Landing lights. Nose light over to takeoff. And we'll go ahead and make a left here. I don't know if my throttles are not going to idle or what, but this aircraft is really speeding up. A little bit of a stutter there, that's okay. And we're going to go throttles up to 40. Flex set. Maintain center line, 80 knots, check. Coming up on V1 already. V1 and rotate. Positive rate of climb, gears going up, pitch up at about 15 degrees. And we'll follow the flight directors here. Feels windy. Throttles to the climb detent. Start our left turn. Flaps clean. Ground spoilers disarmed. Come upstairs here. Turn off some lights. Make another left turn here. Coming up on 5,000 feet. We do not have any altitude restraints other than we need to be above 4,000. Still hand flying it, still hand flying it. We'll go ahead, autopilot is on. Coming up on 10,000 feet now, starting our left-hand turn again. Big left-hand turns out of this airport here. Pretty cool how it's on sort of its own little island and there's a bridge there to get to the airport. A lot of airports are like that in Japan, where they're on the island, on the water I should say. 10,000 feet. Landing lights coming off. Landing lights off. Picking up some wind now. As you can see, we got a headwind of 49 knots. That's okay. Tomo, we need to be above 4,000, looking good. And then at Gobo, above 6,000. Clearance, our ATC probably would have given us probably 6,000, 7,000. Beautiful departure, ladies and gents. Anyway, what I'll do is we're just going to continue, as always, to fly this aircraft. We're going up to 39,000 feet on today's flight. Short flight today. It's about an hour and a half long. I can have a look down here. So, as you can see, we got about another hour of flying before we hit the airport, so not too long. We'll see the arrival when we get there. As you know, the arrivals can change. We are expecting 3-4 left, but that could change any moment. But anyway, let me fly it up. Thanks for flying with me today, ladies and gents, and I'll catch y'all on the descent. Peace. What is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the video. We're currently on the descent down into Narita. We are expecting the ILS 34 left. And we're on the Rutas Tango RNAV arrival. And what I'll quickly do is I'll pull it up here and show you guys. So the Rutas Tango RNAV arrival, we're hitting Rutas, and then we're going to make a left-hand turn to Venus. We need to be at 11,000 at 220 knots. No greater, no higher, no lower. We're going to follow this RNAV down here. We're going to hit UMO. We still need to be at 220 knots and at 11,000 knots. Sorry, 11,000 feet. And then we're going to go ahead, make our left-hand turn to peaks, which we need to be at 6,000, and then on the arrival into Narita. So we are on, it's the ILS runway 34 left arrival. We need to be at 4,000 feet. That's what we're going to it'd be established for the localizer to get down there. The weather here in Narita today, the winds are 030 at 6 knots, overcast at 2400. As you can see outside, it's overcast. Temperature 15 degrees, altimeter is 1008. Should be a pretty good landing, pretty good arrival. Shouldn't be too spicy. You never know what you get flying in this simulator. But as you can see, it's getting pretty dark outside. It's showing very overcast. I feel like every time I come into Narita that it's always overcast. I don't feel the same when I come into Haneda, but definitely it's pretty overcast every time I make an approach in here. Anyway, we got the aircraft sort of all set up here. We're going to come over to the approach page here where we had to fill in our destination information. QNH 1008, 16 degrees. The winds have since changed. I believe I said it's 030 at 6 knots. So I'm just going to go ahead, change that up. Transalt is 14,000. Barrels are 339. Decision height is 339. I got that plugged in there. We just passed 14,000 feet, so let's go ahead. QNH 1008. 1008, 1008. Looking good. VNAV profile has been descending very nicely. Haven't noticed any major upticks in the descent. No complaints. we'll probably rotate this aircraft into our rotation more frequently. We'll do some Spirit ops, some Frontier ops down in the United States. But I highly recommend, if you're gonna decide what version that you want, you need to go for the experimental version. It has the VNAV and it's flying pretty decently. We're holding at 12,300 at the moment. We need to be at 11,220. Looks like the aircraft is slowing down, and we're just above the VNAV profile there. So I'll go ahead. Speed brakes will come out. We'll get it slowed down pretty quick. Taking some time. It is a heavy bitch, that's for sure. Perfect. VNAV profile will continue to do its thing. We're going to pitch down again. We need to be at 11,000. We are just a little high, but the VNAV is coming in nice, and we're going to maintain speed and altitude until Yumo. Once we cross Yumo, we'll go ahead and activate the approach phase. Get configured for the approach. So still about 79 miles out. Got some time. Trying to decide as to what routes we're going to do in the ATR. I'm going to spend some time in it. We're going to showcase a few different flights. First flight, I'm going to do a flight in North America. It's actually with Air St. Pierre. We're going to be doing a flight from St. John's, Newfoundland to St. Pierre, and I think it's Miquelon is how you pronounce it. It is a French territory, a French overseas territory in North America, which is pretty cool. The island itself is actually France, if you think about it. It's Europe. The airport code is a European one. It's not a North American. It's not a Canadian one. On the island itself, it is, you need a passport to enter the country. Technically, it's a different country, and everything's in euros there. I thought that was pretty interesting that we had this little island here in Canada. I didn't even know about it, but we're going to be flying the ATR 42 most likely. They don't have any 72s, I don't think, but we're going to be doing that flight, and then once we land in St. Pierre, we're going to do a second leg, and then we're going to fly to Ile de la Madeleine, and I believe that is a Quebec island just west of St. Pierre. And it's a seasonal flight, actually. It is a real-world flight that's going to be flown by Air St. Pierre. It's a seasonal flight, generally flown, I think, in July and August. So it's a summer flight. And I have scenery for both airports, done by Sim Add-ons. Sim Add-ons has some pretty good scenery for some small airports in Canada. So we're going to be doing that flight. And then I think I want to do some Caribbean ops in the ATR. I think Bahamas has a couple ATRs. I got to see what routes and flights are available, but we'll be doing some of that. Should be a fun time. Flying in the ATR, we're expecting an update momentarily. We're sitting at 11,000. Okay, good. The constraint is holding. There should be an update momentarily to fix some of the major bugs with the aircraft. Some of the known bugs are when you select the speed management mode, when you go from climb to cruise, the aircraft does not speed up. Also, when you hit above 10,000 feet, I don't know if it's standard for the aircraft to sit at 170 knots on a climb out over 10,000. I don't think so. but I'm having issues with the speed. So flights that are half an hour long are taking me an hour, hour and a half. So hopefully we'll get an update out sooner rather than later. That's just one of many different issues with that aircraft. Also, I find that the aircraft takes off on its own. So typically what I do is I'll just I'll pitch down until we hit the V2, and then I'll go ahead and release that and we'll lift off. So looking forward to that. Stay tuned for those flights. Probably gonna have a couple flights coming out sometime next week, or I guess I should say this week, since this flight will be posted on the beginning of the week. So should be good. And then we'll get back probably in the 737 and then the Phoenix A320 again sometime in the near future. Flying over the water here, as you can see, it's very cloudy as we approach mainland. Hopefully it won't be too gusty. It's always gusty when you come off the water, but we'll see what happens. Still holding at 11,000. We still have our speed and altitude restraint coming up at Yumo. Once we get down into Narita, hopefully we'll vacate on, I think it's Alpha 4s or Alpha 5. That's where we want to vacate to. And then we'll take, I think this is Whiskey 8 or something, I'm not sure. But we're going to taxi to gate 410. That's where the real world aircraft deboarded from. It's going to be quite a long taxi. This airport is done by Derzeki Design, so it's top-notch scenery. I don't remember how the performance is with my simulator, but nevertheless, it's a beautiful looking scenery. So yeah, hopefully we'll vacate Alpha 5. I don't think we're going to hit Alpha 4. I think this is Whiskey 8. We'll take it to Romeo. Romeo, we'll take it over to Tango, and then Tango down to... It's a stand, it's not an actual gate, so we'll get off there and deboard. There. Should be starting our left turn momentarily. Once we do, I'll go ahead and we'll activate the approach phase. Go ahead and we'll do that. We'll get the aircraft slowed down to about 210. Or green dot speed in this case is just over 200. Turn on some lights here. Typically should do this ahead of time, but I never keep prepared. We don't need any of those lights on. I had a feeling once we get into the clouds it's going to look pretty dark. So. Looks like VNAV is following nicely again. I always monitor this with the fly-by-wire. You always got to be on top of your game. I believe we got to be at 6,000 feet at peaks. Landing system light will come on. We're hitting 10,000 feet. Landing lights will be turned on. I wonder why they slow down the aircraft at, I forget what the waypoint was before Yumo for 220 knots. That might be due to heavy traffic, I don't know, but generally, you know, in aviation, anything above 10,000 feet, you're at about 250 knots or greater. So I wonder what the reason is, but... It's been a fun journey flying out here in Japan. We'll have to make a visit. I think maybe the next time we'll come out here, I want to do a long haul flight from Canada. We'll probably wait for one of the wide body aircrafts to come out, and then we'll do a long haul, real world long haul, you know, from Vancouver, maybe Toronto. We'll see. Won't be a live stream. We haven't done any live streams yet, for those wondering. But it's always great flying at different destinations, you know. A lot more places we need to touch up on. There's just so much to see in the simulator, it's crazy. And every update, every sim update, every world update, the simulator just excels at a level that no other simulator can. No offense to the P3D and X-Plane enthusiasts out there, but we'll go ahead and we'll set the auto brake. Ground spoilers, we'll throw those on too. It's always good to stay ahead of the game. A lot of procedures on different aircrafts. I tend to forget, so it's always good to do. Really. Quickly going to have a look at our missed approach instructions. We are told climb to 1,000 on heading 337. Turn left and climb to 6,000 via heading 142 to intercept and proceed outbound via Narita VOR. "26 miles. Still got time. We'll go ahead and arm the Loke and approach. We're holding at 210. Descending down to 4,000 feet. Showing 19 miles out. Go ahead and put the speed back into managed mode. Glide slope looks like it's starting to come in. Localizer is capturing now. We are holding at 4,000. Once glide slope becomes established, we'll have to set our missed approach altitude. 14 miles out. Gonna go ahead, flaps 1. Glide slope coming in, and it looks like it's captured. Just approach altitude set to 6,000. Nine miles out. Go ahead, flaps 2. Put the rest of our lights on. Airport's in sight. Speed coming back.
$2,500.
Go ahead, gear down.
Flight attendants, please prepare for landing.
Flaps 3, flaps full. Come up top here. Vise the cabin. Okay, we got gear down, 3 green. Flaps are full. Spoilers are armed. We have auto brakes set to low. Speed still coming back. Doing about 150 at the moment. Looks like we have a nasty ass crosswind. 20 knots. See what happens. Enjoy the arrival.
1,000.
Check. Go ahead, take the aircraft. The winds are starting to calm down. Two whites, two reds on the Pappies.
$500. $400. $100 above. 300.
Showing one right, three reds. We'll go ahead and pull it back just a little bit.
200. Minimum.
Continue.
$100. $50. $40. $30. $20. Retard. 10. 5.
Reversers out. Keep the nose up. Let it come down gently. Knots, 70 knots. Stole the reversers. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome down. Welcome back to Tokyo. Welcome down to Narita. Much nicer landing. Could have stayed centered a little bit. But anyway, we're here. Better than the last one, that's for sure. Let the aircraft slow down. And we are going to spool up the APU. Nose lights over to the taxi position. We'll turn off our landing lights, runway lights all coming off. Go ahead and we'll make a right here. Call up GSX. We need to be on Romeo, which is right here. Call up GSX, and we're looking for gate 410. I don't know where I'll find that. No, follow me. And we'll see what that does for us. Flaps are coming up. Ground spoilers are disarmed. Sorry, we're on Whiskey. We're not on Romeo. I get my taxiways mixed up from time to time. APU is showing available. We're going to make a left here, and then a quick right onto Romeo. I think this is Whiskey 10. So, quick right, and then we're going to hit Tango. And we're looking for stand 410. Don't forget, everybody, if you have not yet, smash down that thumbs up button. We're looking for 15 likes on the video. And if you have not, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate that. We need to get up to 250 subs. I know I keep repeating it. I know it sounds annoying, but we have a €50 Sim Market gift voucher to give away. But we need 250 subs on the channel. We're getting up there. We're not quite there, but we're getting up there. Hit a bump there, it's pretty crazy. The gate should be coming up. Sport 12. Now I think there's a 410 and a 410 right. I don't know where GSX would be. .411 right. We're just gonna hit 410. Call it a day. Should be a 410 left. And here's 410. Marshaller is on site. Perfect. Brakes are very twitchy. We'll go ahead and we'll stop there. APU lead coming on. We'll shut down engines 1 and 2. We'll come back up top here, and we're going to release the cabin and request deboarding. There you have it, ladies and gents. That will conclude our little Japan tour that we did here. Total of 4 flights, I believe. And we showcased some handcrafted Asobo airports, and as well as some pretty decent third-party scenery, minus Fukuoka. I was pretty disappointed with that. But anyway, we are here. We have made it. I want to say thank you to everybody who has supported me on my channel. To my subs, thank you. For everybody that watches, thank you. We will be in the ATR in the upcoming days. We're going to be showcasing some flights in that one, so stay tuned for that if you're into seeing some turboprop real ops flights. I don't have much experience in the turboprops, as I jumped right into airliners when I purchased the simulator back in 2020. But I have been flying it, and it's pretty nice. You know, I'm having fun, minus the all the little problems it has. But anyway, that's what we're doing. We're going to be jumping in the ATR, doing some flights with that. Should be a good time. And I'll leave it at that, everybody. Have yourself a wonderful week. Catch y'all in the next video. Peace!